Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really going to dig into something quite specific. It's the listening problem-solving task from our source material. Our goal here is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Unpack how this thing actually works. We want you to get a really clear picture of its, let's say, unique structure and what it's asking of you. Okay, so let's get into it. The basic setup is this. You're listening to a conversation. It's between two people, and interestingly, they don't actually know each other.
Right.
One person has some kind of problem, and they're asking the other person for help. And that second person works for, like, a public organization.
Yeah, it sounds pretty standard on the surface, doesn't it? A help-seeking dialogue.
Exactly. But what is interesting is the structure. That's what really sets it apart. What's really distinct here is how it's broken down. It's not just one long recording you listen to. It's actually split into three separate listening parts.
Yeah, and that's key. What's fascinating, is how that segmented structure then shapes how you interact with it. Because after each of those three listening bits, you immediately get hit with 2 or 3 spoken questions.
Spoken questions, okay, not written.
Spoken questions. And you answer them using a drop-down menu on the screen. So there's this very clear rhythm. Listen, answer questions, listen again, answer again. It repeats.
Right. And, okay, the timing. This sounds like where the real challenge might come in. You mentioned the questions are spoken, but they aren't just quick prompts, are they?
No, not at all. That's a crucial point. Each individual question you hear is actually pretty lengthy. We're talking 60 to maybe 90 seconds long for one question.
Wow, okay. A minute to a minute and a half just to hear the question itself. That's substantial.
It is. And that leads right into the really critical detail about the response time. You listen to that long question, and then you have exactly 30 seconds.
Just 30 seconds.
Just 30 seconds per question to read the options in the dropdown and make your choice.
Okay, so let's make that concrete, like the source does. If there are, say, 3 questions after a listening part.
Yeah. Then you get 30 seconds for the first, 30 for the second, 30 for the third. That's a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds for all 3 answers. No pooling of time. It's 30 seconds each.
Right. So this isn't just testing if you understood the dialogue.
Not at all. It's a direct test, really, of how fast you can process that spoken question, connect it back to the dialogue you heard earlier, and make a pretty precise choice from the options. All under, serious time pressure.
Okay, so I'm trying to picture this. You listen to a dialogue segment, then you hear maybe a 90-second question, and then the clock starts, just 30 seconds for the dropdown. What kind of cognitive pressure does that actually create? Is it just about being fast, or is there more to it?
Well, it's definitely about speed, but it's more than just speed. It's about efficient processing, I'd say. That short answer window forces you to listen to the question incredibly actively. You can't just passively absorb it.
What do you mean by actively?
It means you're probably already filtering as you listen to that long question. You're listening for keywords, maybe anticipating what the answer options might look like, trying to link it back to the dialogue segment.
Yeah.
All before you even see the dropdown, because you only have that half minute once it appears.
Ah, okay. So the critical listening isn't just during the initial dialogue. It's intensely focused during the question itself, too.
Exactly. You're essentially pre-processing your response. It forces this kind of real-time synthesis of information. You can't wait until the question is over to start thinking.
That really shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not just a comprehension check in the traditional sense.
No, it's much more dynamic.
So understanding these specifics, the segmented listening, the really long spoken questions, and that super tight 30-second answer window that's absolutely crucial for you, the listener, to grasp what's really being tested here. It's not just did you hear it. It's how quickly can you process, connect, and decide under pressure.
Precisely. It's about that rapid synthesis and making decisive choices with a significant cognitive load.
Okay, so wrapping this part up, what does this all mean for you? This deep dive shows it's a highly structured listening challenge. It demands really sharp attention during the dialogue, yes, but then also this rapid, precise response ability to long-spoken questions within these very strict time limits.
Yeah. And maybe a final thought to leave you with is this. Consider how that specific design, listening to a potentially 90-second question, and then having only 30 seconds to pick from a drop-down, how does that fundamentally shape the kind of listening you need to do? Are you listening primarily for the gist of the problem in the dialogue? Or are you, maybe subconsciously, already filtering for very specific details that might map onto potential answer choices, precisely because you know that response window is so incredibly brief? It's an interesting thing to think about how the test format itself might shape your cognitive strategy.